Hi, I'm Craig Phillips. We've been making a series of videos to help you make your homes more energy efficient. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to insulate in between the joists on the ground floor of your house. I've built a structure here simulating what a typical floor will look like. You've got big thick timbers like this, 8x2 inches deep. You've got 18mm tongue and groove floorboards nailed down all the way across them. And if you put your hands across there, and I promise you, you'll probably feel a draft coming under there. Where's it coming from? Well, have a look at the front of your house. You may have some air bricks just below your DPC. That's allowing air to come in as it should do. We don't want to block them up. That needs to come in and travel underneath all of your house, throughout all of the rooms, to stop these timbers sweating and decaying. But what we don't want is that airflow to get its way through these floorboards into your room. I'm going to show you how to safely remove all of your floorboards, de-nail them, because we are going to be putting them back later. And then what I'm going to do is get myself a roofing membrane. So this is a breathable felt. I'm going to pin this down on the far corner of the wall. We're going to create like a pocket in there. We're going to go over the top like a pouch, and it'll come down and then come back up again like this. Now these timbers are only 8 or 9 inches deep, so we're going to get about 225mm. At home, when you take your floorboards off, what you'll notice is these timbers won't be directly on the floor. You could have a gap about this wide, anything from 18 inches to 24 inches deep, and you've got all that cold air circulating through. So once that's down, then we'll get our mineral wool. This is 200mm wide. We're going to break that up and then fulfill the cavity so that pouch holds it all nicely and snugly into position. Once we've insulated the whole area, then we'll refit our floorboards right back to the same position. Once you've removed your carpets and your underlay, you can have a good look around at all the boards, and you might find that there are some loose ones. So that's your obvious point to start trying to get that board up first. We don't want to be starting nice and tight up against the wall there, because you don't want to have to take your skirting board off and try and get underneath the floorboard and pull it up. I've got my circular saw. I'm setting the blade at about 20mm depth. I'm going to have to plunge saw this halfway through. So pull the guard back, start the blade, and very slowly plunge it so it cuts into your floorboard. Once it's down and the base of the saw is flush, then you can start to move forward, cutting across your line. You won't be able to cut the last 60 or 70mm. You'll have to do this by hand, using a handsaw. I've got a few crowbars now, a couple of prizing bars, and even a brick bolster as well. So the aim is to start trying to get that between the gap that I've just cut and start to prise one of these boards up. There it is. Then we can start to put them longer bars in between there and prise that up. There it is, that's our first one out. Now the board's out, remove all the nails out of it first and store them safely. Once they're out, I can then finish off these last two behind me and work my way forwards into the centre of the room. So that's about 9 planks taken off, and I've created a space here of about 1.2, 1.3 meters. I'm not going to take the rest of the boards off just yet. I'm going to keep that there because it's a good, safe working platform and you don't get overwhelmed with so many boards. So what I'm going to do is sweep up the nails from out here, unwrap my breathable membrane and start to roll this out into position, dropping it down in between the joists, and then I'll just hold them down in place with some drawing pins. There we go. You at home is going to have your wall here, so you just want to cut that as flush as you can to the wall. Even if it goes past a little bit too much, you know, you cut it past there, it's not a problem. Fold it over and push your pin through the both sides of it. So that's my first section of breathable membrane rolled out, pinned into position, creating the depth of the voids that I require for this floor. My next stage now is to fill these using the mineral wool. Now these rolls of mineral wool are standard about 1200mm wide. They are already pre-cut. If we look closely, there's a manufacturer's seam here, here and here. So 600mm sometimes works great in loft areas where you've got a wider joist. In this floor area here, we've probably only got about 400mm gap. So again, they are pre-cut here, and then these sections are about 200. So what I want to do is try and split it here and split it here. So we've got 3 rolls that'll fit in 3 of these voids, but don't forget to wear your dust mask. So that's my rolls of mineral wool in position. They're tucked up nice and tight at the back of the joist. They're rolled out about 1 metre and then just coiled back on themselves, ready to be rolled out the full length of the room. So I'm going to turn my attention back to the floorboards, remove these, de-nail them, stack them up, and then put down another roll of our breathable membrane here, pinned into position, and then I can just continue then with them rolls all the way down. So that's another large section of the floorboards taken up, de-nailed and stored. I'm now going to roll out another length of my breathable membrane. However, you can see I've got noggins in between each one of these joists. Your options is this felt can be overlapped. We've got a little blue line that you can see here. The manufacturers put that on for when this is being used on a roof. You overlap that, of course, but it's breathable as well, so it allows your attic space to breathe. Likewise, what we want underneath here, because what you will have to do is do your calculations for your size floor. So now this is rolled up, I can work out my position where I'm going to cut this. I am going to let it stagger over about 100mm. The reason being is I don't want to create any gap in there that of course the mineral wool could drop through. So that's going to overlap there, and then I'm going to bring it to this outer edge. So that's my area there where to cut. I'm not going to try and cut this with my trimming knife. I've got some heavy decorating scissors here, so hopefully I'll be able to cut that through. Perfect. So that is one side cut for there, and the other side of course doesn't get wasted. That'll start me off this side of the noggins while we continue along there. I'll just cut 2 little lines here, and that'll slide down then without causing any kinks in the corners here. All I need to do now is continue rolling out the mineral wool, butt up to the noggin here, trim it down with my scissors, and then the offcut of that will start the next row once the membrane is in position. So that's all of my mineral wool now installed in between each of the joists, and you can already see it's starting to swell. Now the air's getting into that, it's starting to come to its true height, which is around the 200mm. But what I'm going to start to do now is fix down my planks. And the way these work is you've got a thicker piece at the bottom and a thinner piece at the top. So we're keeping that thinner piece up at the top. So we do want a little bit of an expansion gap. So I've got a couple of plastic packers here that I'm just going to put behind there. They're only pulling it out about 12mm. Now I'm using a thing called a sunken head nail. So the top of my nail there, it does bulge out, but then if we look very closely, there's a little slant in there, and it kind of just sinks in right the way through into the wood for a nice smooth finish, and you hardly see the nail itself. You can always get a block to put on there. What you don't want to be doing is going at this side with your hammer. Just a gentle tap on that so that gets all the dint, and the flat edge of that doesn't damage this edge. So that's all my floorboards now refixed down to the joists below. And the mineral wool underneath is starting to expand and will be touching the bottom of my board. Some of your planks may be shorter and will need button up together. One thing to bear in mind when you are buttoning them up together is to make sure that both cuts sit on one of the joists below. So where they butt up together, you've got a joist directly below there, which will carry the weight of each board. So that's what's involved when you want to insulate below the floorboards in between the joists of your house. And if you want to see more how-to videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel. But if you just want to know more about the vast range of products that I've been using, check out the website, silverlinetools.com.